Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 250,000 subscribers. Don't unsubscribe because there's so much that we need to talk about, not just over the next 70 days, but over the next 4 years. And I will continue to bring you my history, my insight, and my knowledge on all of this. So look, I want to show you some clips from Fox News. And I want to start with a clip of Laura Ingraham speaking to Mike Johnson about immigration and policy. Now, play this clip and you'll get my reaction.
Speaker, we can deliver all that. We know how to do it.
Yeah. But the President-elect Trump, that's the first time I've said that, I realize. President-elect Trump can do a lot just by executive order, but I do understand from my sources that they want laws passed. They don't want an executive order that can just be thrown away, in 4 years or 8 years. They want permanent change. Can't ask for asylum inside the country. Can't play the game where you come here and say, oh, I'm oppressed, and you get to stay. He's even talked about the birthright citizenship issue, which obviously is more problematic because of the Constitution. That would require more thinking and study, but he doesn't want to just do the executive orders. Is that what your understanding is as well?
Yes, and our agenda is to enact this into law. We need real comprehensive immigration reform. We've needed it for a long time.
That sounds like
an aggressive commander-in-chief.
That sounds like amnesty. Every time I've heard a Republican say that, it's like earned path to citizenship. Then we have 20 million, people who, get their citizenship overnight. Every time I hear that, it drives me crazy.
Laura,
but you can explain.
No, we're talking about. No, we want to do the opposite of amnesty. If you do an amnesty program, you invite more people to violate the law. That's exactly the opposite of what we need to do. We got to.
Yeah. Did you notice Laura Ingraham's face? I'll tell you something that I find somewhat disappointing. During the course of the entire campaign, if in fact that they had a policy plan or they had something, why not put it out? We know that Senator Langford had one, but that got shot down by Mike Johnson. And for the first time, we're seeing at the beginning, because we will have Donald Trump as president of the United States, his policies matter. And his policies will be pulled apart for good or for bad, right? And that's exactly what Laura Ingraham's doing. It sounds like amnesty. With all fairness, it sounds like amnesty to me also. And guess what? I'm not for amnesty. I'm just not. Now, do I also think that there's going to be a mass deportation on day one? No. Do I think it'll come a day or so after that? Yeah, I actually do. I think he's 100% feet dug into the ground on this one. He has every intention of doing a mass deportation. Very much that was his line, the same way we had build the wall. Now, of course, the wall never got built. However, this one, I think he believes is much easier. In fact, I also believe that it is easier. What he'll do, he'll end up going over to places where they are housing migrants by the thousands, and they'll round them up, put them on a Greyhound bus, or Elon Musk will buy a whole bunch of planes and ship them over, over state lines or over country lines, bring them back to Mexico or wherever it might be. It doesn't make a difference. I believe that Donald Trump, when he says certain things, that he intends to do it. And this is one. I just wish that if they really had an immigration policy, something this country has needed for 5 decades, maybe even longer, I wish that they would have discussed it and put it out there, including during the debate with Kamala Harris when the topic came up. Instead, when they were trying to talk about policy, what did he say? He has a concept of a policy. Why not go ahead and do it? Because they didn't want to talk about, like what Laura Ingraham's doing, rolling her eyes, her head pulled back and saying, sounds like amnesty to me, which is going to invite people into the country. Now, I want to show you a graphic from Fox News about potential Trump cabinet members. All right. So chief of staff, you have Brooke Rollins or Susie Wiles. I believe it will be Susie Wiles. All right. As it goes to Treasury Secretary, you have John Paulson or you have Scott Bessent. I believe it'll be John Paulson. Donald has tremendous respect for John Paulson. He's known him for many, many years. As far as Secretary of State, I don't believe it will be Mark Rubio. I believe it will be Rich Grinnell. Why? He doesn't like Marco Rubio, right? Why he's even in consideration, I don't know. And as far as the other names, Elon Musk will be like what Jared Kushner was before, the secretary of everything. He will be in that Oval Office more than even Susie Wiles or Brooke Rollins as chief of staff, guaranteed. All right. Vivek Ramaswamy, not even sure what he's going to play. And the discussion about Robert Kennedy Jr. as being, vaccination czar, health and human services, you could take that down. That actually scares me because I've had Robert Kennedy Jr. on my Mea Culpa podcast. That's the one with the blue background icon. And if you listen to that podcast episode, it's freaking terrifying. He doesn't believe in measles, mumps, rubella. He believes all of this causes autism. None of that is factually accurate. He doesn't believe in vaccinations. It is absolutely dangerous. I'm going to tell you something, too. I think a lot of these people that think that they're going to get cabinet positions, that they're going to have some sort of influence in the White House, I think that they're mistaken, because I do truly believe this time around, Trump doesn't want to destroy the legacy of his name. I believe that they're actually going to be more on par with the way that we understand government to operate than during Trump's 2016 to 2020 administration. I really do. I think he is 100% adamant about making sure that this administration runs properly and professionally. And so many of these people, despite whether he thinks or they think that they helped him to get elected, I guarantee you that they will not have major or any position at all. I've seen this happen many, many times. All right. So finally, I want to show you a clip of Hannity and Laura Trump talking about our country's election procedure. Play this clip.
Okay. What about, is it possible, proof of citizenship, voter ID, signature verification, chain of custody controls, updated voter rolls, paper ballots, and partisan observers in every precinct in the country watching the voting all day, the vote counting all night, and we have an answer by the end of the night? Can we not implement that nationally? Can that be done?
Well, I think we have a lot of things going our way right now, don't we? We have Donald Trump, who will be the next president. We have a Senate majority, obviously, and we're very looks pretty promising for the House. So I think you're right. Look, those issues you just discussed are what 90% plus of Americans agree on. You should be an American citizen to vote in American elections. That's the law, by the way. You should have some form of voter ID. It's amazing to me, Sean, that you have states like California where they say, please don't take out an ID. We don't want to see it. I mean, how outrageous is that? I've said for a long time, and I think you've said the same thing too, we don't have a perfect system right now. We had to get through this system and we had to play the hand that we were dealt. You have election season now instead of election day, and a lot of nuance around the country that makes it very confusing and really concerning for a lot of people. Yes, maybe now is the time, once Donald Trump is inaugurated, we go forward and maybe we have something that passes so that we can have a blanket federal election process that every state abides by, and we feel really good about it all across the country. Every American deserves to know that in the United States, when you cast a vote, your vote matters and your vote counts. Well,
by the way, every American's vote that's cast does actually count. That's how Donald Trump became president-elect. While I'm always for improving systems, whether it's the electoral system, I'm always for that. But to turn around and to say that, this election is not quick enough, or it doesn't work right, or that there's fraud and so on. The only person who has claimed that there was fraud in the electoral process, remember, was Donald Trump. So again, this was not a topic. If I was involved in his campaign, that I would have said, Laura, don't do this. Don't do this interview, or this isn't a question that you should be answering. Yeah, we can always improve a system. I actually look forward to improving this system, but I wouldn't get into the sum and substance, because here's what Joe Biden said in an earlier speech when he turned around and he said, our system is fair. Our system is just. And talking about the electoral system. Again, is it perfect? Nothing in life is perfect. Human beings aren't perfect, but it's pretty damn close. And in fact, the perfection of our system ultimately determined that Donald Trump was the favorite candidate. So it just doesn't make any sense. My friends, I'm going to end this episode, all right, by turning around and saying, stay with me. There's so much to discuss going forward. Share with your friends, and I'll see you soon. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.